Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Brendan again, and this is a video to be able to give you guys a little bit more information on how to be able to post your Quest journal. So this, of course, is a very core aspect of the ParadigmShiftCentral.com project. So I'm just going to give you guys a little bit more information because it's a little bit different from Facebook, but actually, I think it's really cool. I think it's even cooler than what Facebook can be. So I'm going to switch this over to screen share so you guys can see. So again, at this point, I presume you're already familiar with the website, the aspects of it, and we're on the main page right now. And all the good stuff going on, lots of cool stuff. So we want to create our Quest journal. So one of the things that we can do is you can go up to the top where it says your journey, then type or click new Quest journal. So that's going to take us to our page where we're going to be able to create our Quest journal once my internet kicks in. There we go. And so we're just going to scroll down. So, I mean, at this point, it's really straightforward. The only things that you're going to get confusing on are just a couple finicky things. I'm going to give you a little bit more information about HTML. So here we have first of all, what are the intentions of Quest journals? Again, we're using Quest journals in the same way you would have like an actual journal, but this is like a digital journal so that you're using it for yourself, but you're also knowing that it's going to be seen by other people. So it can be whatever really you would like it to be for, but with the underlying intention of helping inspire other people. So again, dream journals, reflections, shiftivism activities, synchronicity report logs, journey logs, any of those things that you feel would apply. This is a place for you to practice creating digital media to be able to share with the world. So here we have our title. So I'm going to name my title The Celestial Fortune or something like that. And I'm just going to like type in a whole bunch of stuff right now. So basically, you're going to want to be able to, well, let me just say this first. When you're writing things in here, if you're writing out stuff like that's going to be long, my advice is to open it up inside of a text document. So don't just write straight to here because there's always a possibility that you might crash the window accidentally and you don't want to risk losing your things at this point. So create a new text document, and then when you're ready, copy things over. So sort of the main features for the Quest article is the idea that you can switch between visual mode, which is over here on the right, and HTML mode. So when you switch between the two, you can see that the HTML mode has those extra codes and the extra characters that are required as part of HTML. But HTML is really cool because it allows us to add a lot of neat stuff. And again, going back to the MySpace days, it's been a while. Like you don't use HTML in Facebook for a lot of people. So if I were to center this, you got your main sort of features within the tools at the top here. So you have your center option. So if I were to do that in visual mode, then switch over to HTML mode, you just see that, it says P style text align center. So that's just telling it to align in the center. So this is basic HTML stuff. But what I think is actually cool is that by experimenting with creating Quest journals, you're going to actually learn how to use HTML if you're not familiar with it already. And again, it's nothing super complicated. It doesn't need to be. And so part of the main tools that we have our links. So say I have an awesome link. To add an awesome link, again, this is super straightforward. We're just making sure you guys know. You want to highlight something, and then at the top where it says on the left, it says add. And then underneath or next to that, you have these several buttons. So you have a link button, there's a little blue thing, and that's the one that you're going to click in a minute. And then you have your image button, you have your video embed button, and then you have your paste a text and paste as plain text, which you don't really need to use, and a file actually, which is something that we can get into at some point. But at this point, I don't think we really need to use that per se. But if you find a reason to use it, then yeah, totally go ahead and use it. But keep in mind that our bandwidth, let's try and keep our bandwidth to a minimal in terms of uploading things to the server. So because the more we upload together, then the more we could potentially go over our limits, just as an FYI in terms of the hosting for the server. So don't really use the attachment file unless it's like super necessary. So when you have a link to add, you just click the link button here, and then that's going to be able to like give you the option to select or to paste in a link. Then you hit OK, and then that's going to be really cool. So if you have a link to add into your post, then that's how you do it. Next thing you have is your images. So you have your little image icon in the top left. You click that thing, and then you choose an image. So this is just opening up. I'm not even sure if you can see though. No, you can't see what I'm selecting right now. But I'm just going to click essentially what is going to be my preview image. So the way how the feeds work in terms of the RSS is that it's going to find the first image and use that as a preview image. So when you upload an image, here it's going to say link right here. You're actually going to want to take that out. That doesn't really need to be there. It's just going to open up to the image in a standalone window. So delete the link or include a link if it's something specific that you want people to link to. And then you can change the width. Let's change it to say 609. It doesn't really need to be too big. And then you click OK. And then that's going to add in your image. So this is, again, this is the example of the image that I was using in my most recent Quest journal, my most recent conscious article post. And then you can actually center that up. So if you have an image, you can click it. And then again, you can click the things to be able to center it up. And if you want to center it up, try and aim for aesthetics that are going to appeal. So the images are important because, again, so this image, so say I have a YouTube video. I'm going to upload a YouTube video, but I want to upload a preview image as well, because the preview image is going to be the image that's going to show up when we post on Facebook. So let me just go back to, as an example. So if I'm on the main part of the website and all of those images that you see alongside the feeds when they when we see them through our main news feed, these things here, these are the first images within your posts that are going to show up. So you can see my image showing up for that one there. And basically you just kind of want to like scale it up. Keep in mind that's going to be in a box. You don't have to worry too much about that, but just you want to have an image of a sort. And if you are sharing an image of like an artist who you just kind of found on the internet, try to link back to them. At the end of your post, you could just include a link that says, like image by. And if we really do that as a habit, I think that's like an important thing to just maintain integrity. And I'll work along with you guys on that one as well. Just being able to source our sources and stuff. So going back to our post here, the next thing we're going to want to do is to be able to add a video. So if you click the video icon, again, so where it says add, it says add link, picture, then the video thing, and then it's going to say paste the embed code. So a big part of Paradigm Shift Central is you're going to want to have a YouTube account. So more so than just Facebook, this is really going back to the YouTube core of things, because that's going to be things that you can add into playlists and everything. So when you have a link that you're ready to add in, this is again super basic, but for some people may not be entirely familiar. What you do is you find the video that you want. So example, so this is my 2016 Evolution Challenge video. You're going to go down here and you're going to go to share. You click the share button and then you're going to click embed. So the embed code is going to appear. And then if you click show more, you can change the scale just by zooming down a little bit, but 853 by 480 is probably fine. It is fine. So you're going to click that and you're going to copy it, and then you're going to go back to your blog post and you're going to paste that in. Then you're going to click OK. And then at this point, it's still centered up and it is pretty much ready to go. So the text that appears at the top of the Quest journal is basically what's going to show within the preview of your feed. So keep in mind there, and if you want to put your name at the beginning, that can help people know that it's you, because within these news feeds, just because of the way that it works, because it's kind of like an external third-party widget, it doesn't show the authors. So if you want to include your name as an author, just put your name in the first sentence. You can say like by whoever. So, or even just Brianna here said, Yo-Yo Breezy here. So people can know, but otherwise it's not horribly a big deal. When you're posting a video as well, as a format, for the titles, add in video. So that's similar to just like things that you'll see on Reddit and stuff. But again, that just helps. So when you're scrolling through, you can see, I know that one has video. And to just have it at the front, we'll do that moving forward consistently. So if you have a video, just do that. And then again, you just kind of like write in anything that you need to within the stuff here. You can play around with the font. So did I just delete? No? Okay. So play around. Did I delete stuff? Yeah, I did. So play around with everything. So again, if you want to change up some of the fonts, you can click on your font stuff on the left, and then your menu drops down and you can sort of select things there, and you can also change the font styles. Pretty basic stuff. But keep in mind that I have had experiences where this may glitch out. So again, if you're doing all your writing, write it up in a text document, copy it over when you're ready. Try to keep it fairly simple in that sense. So when you're almost ready at the bottom, don't worry about the excerpt. Let's keep that blank, because if it doesn't have anything there, it's just going to pull the intro stuff here. So let's keep that blank. just overall. Don't really too worry much about tags. If you want to put in tags, you can, but at this point, we're not really using them per se, but I'm sure we'll be able to streamline our reasons behind using them down the road as things get more specific. But right now, the main thing is really the categories. So you're going to see multiple categories here. And again, you know, like if you're on mobile, this whole tutorial would be a little bit different because you won't have the add options over here. And the image, oh, and this thing in the top right, this like image thing, don't, if you can see, like you can't really, it's underneath the add blog post, just in the top right, this little image icon, don't bother using that. That thing's kind of glitchy and it doesn't show the images in the preview. It doesn't even upload them as proper JPEGs and stuff. It's kind of this weird thing. So just ignore that, but use the image thing over here on the left. But what I was going to say is within a mobile, you'll only see that. So on mobile, if you want to upload image temporarily, go ahead. But eventually you're going to want to replace it with like a proper image uploaded through the thing on the left. But what I was going to say is that within the categories, within mobile, you might only be able to select one because you can't like shift select, but you can select multiple categories. So if your thing fits into a few things, you can hold shift or hold command or the Windows key and select multiple things that it falls under. So journey log, like that's, most of them are going to be falling under journey logs. That's fairly, you know, ubiquitous. Then synchronicity report, like, oh yeah, you know, like that's what that is. And then a video, and then, you know, visions and intentions. So that's going to help streamline just like what it is that people are being able to view. And then, and so I mean, those things kind of explain themselves. Community updates are related even just to like things that you got going on in your local communities and paradigm shift communities and so forth and so on. So once you're ready, you're going to hit the publish button at the bottom. I'm not going to do that for this one just because it would send out a feed if I did, and I just don't want to notify people with a post that isn't real. But once you've put up your thing, you're going to be able to, I'll just sort of jump over to, yeah, I mean, this is an art. I'm just jumping over to the video of the 2016 Evolution Challenge, just as an example, even though technically it's under the conscious articles, but it's still the exact same format as a quest journal. Because the other thing that I just want to be able to show you guys is at the top, so you're on your page with, say this is your quest journal, and you notice something that you want to change. Super cool. Just go up to the top and hit the edit button. So there's a little edit button you can see right here that I'm highlighting. Just click that. And then the next thing that you're going to actually want to do is that once you've posted your video, you're going to want to grab your URL, because you're going to, if you want to, see how at the bottom of this post, there's this counter. So you can see this counter thing at the bottom here. That shows you how many people have actually viewed the page. So that's different from Facebook. Facebook doesn't really give accurate numbers anymore. This is accurate. This is like 95 unique visitors to the page. So that tells me, you know, gives me feedback in terms of what my success rate is like, you know, and not even just success in the traditional sense, but like what the outreach are. And that you can think about that as like a numerical value within playing the game, you know, like if you can get that even higher, that's more people who you've potentially reached and more seeds you've helped plant and things like that. So if you want to add a quest, a hit counter, it's not added by default, but what you can do is up at the top of the website, you'll see that there's one for the entire website. So it says unique visitors total. Click on that, and then it's going to open up this new window. And then what you're going to do is you're going to copy in your URL. So this is why you want to publish first, because you're going to need your URL. You couldn't do that until you publish. So you're going to copy your URL of the link at the top, go to the free counters, select the red one for consistency, paste in your link, click no to both options relative to content, get code here, opens up a new window, and then you have your code here, copy, select all, copy, and then go back to your website. And within the editing, so again, you know, if I clicked on edit, I go back to here, and then basically I'll have the option to switch over to HTML mode. So it's already in HTML mode. Then I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and then I'm going to just paste it right in there. And then I'm going to hit go back to update. Obviously, I don't need to do that because I already got one in there. You can see it sitting there. So that's a cool thing to do. If you guys don't do that, I'll help you add them to your post just for consistency. But you can totally do that yourself, and that will save me from having to do it, save me an extra second. So that's pretty much everything relative to making quest journals that you guys need to know. And the next thing to do would just be able to go do them. And it's really cool because, you know, even just again, you know, this is a shared media platform. So as one of our now the next thing would be is that once you've shared your video, once you've shared your quest journal, once you have it online, copy the URL and paste it into Facebook. So just like loading up your Facebook, so you can paste here, and you're gonna see is well, I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so it's showing up with that because the image preview for the other one hadn't loaded prior to that being updated. The image previews sometimes are a little bit funky in terms of Facebook feed. But if you get your preview image in there the first time, then basically that preview image is going to be the one that is going to show up on Facebook. Just refreshing the page. So when you do have, oh, come on. So when you do have your thing ready to go, you'll paste it into Facebook and it will show up with your image preview right there. So if this is a quest journal, you know, it would have your image preview right there. So you want to be able to pick and choose what your preview image is going to be, make it fairly relative, specific, and intentional. So again, you know, the big thing with the quest journals is really bringing it back to intentions. You know, and there's some really cool stuff that has been going up so far, and really like and personal stuff and inspirational stuff, and really sharing your journey. That is a really cool part of this. So yeah, and you know, congratulations to everybody who's been posting so far. And the next thing other than this that don't really need to get too much in this video is that posts that are up through here will also be relayed through the Facebook page. So, you know, the Facebook page, facebook.com/ParadigmShiftCentral is where we'll be working towards reposting things as content onto this page so that we can send it through Facebook so that it reaches more audience, and of course invites them back to the Paradigm Shift Project website where they can also get involved with the ongoing awesome interactive game that we got going on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just encouraging you guys to go and create. And let me just switch this back. So yeah, if you have any questions related to this further, please feel free to ask me. I hope that gives you a little bit of extra information. If you're, you know, there's plenty of things that you can do with the HTML code stuff, so you can feel free to learn a little bit more about that. But relatively, you keep it simple. You just have your images and your videos and align things to center and tweak them as a need be, and add in your hit counter and upload, publish, and copy that link and share it through your other places, through your Facebooks and social medias. And of course, you got your share tools on the right side of the website that you can go back and take a look at as well. So that's all for this video. That's the tutorial to get you guys started on posting your quest journals, and I look forward to seeing them. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And thank you so much for being a part of this awesome thing that we got going on. So let's create some cool media. Let's create some personal, spiritually inspiring and reflective media, and let's be able to help it reach more people and inspire them. So aspire to inspire. Let's keep doing our thing. So cool, guys. All right. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the future. Keep it shifty. Peace.